Alright, hello guys, it's the Nightwing Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today to talk about the LCS Week 3 2020 Spring Split Thoughts and Opinions. I'm gonna have to try and get a perfect slogan for that. But yes, the Week 3 of the LCS has just concluded. After the Monday Night League, we now have the standings as they are. You know, Cloud9 is still number 1. Hashtag C9 win all day, baby. Let's go. And, you know, I'm gonna just say this before I start the video. Technically, is, spring, people say it really doesn't matter. But, I mean, it does matter to people who have not won a trophy. And, you know, just because people don't see it as like it doesn't matter, doesn't mean the pro players do. Like, let's look at the amount of pro players that are in the league that haven't won a trophy. So, yes, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. But it does matter in terms of, like, legacy and how these players are seen in the next 10 years. Just imagine in the next decade when it hits 2030 and I'm still doing these videos for you guys and, you know, maybe we're at, like, 10,000 subscribers, Imagine all these players, having their legacy. This is their legacy right here. You know what I mean? So it does matter to them. It might not matter to you because, well, you are never going to get this far, but it does matter to them who are, putting in their time and their effort to get this far. So I just want to, spell that myth right now, is that it doesn't matter, because yes, it does matter. And also, if it doesn't matter in terms of a fan perspective, then why do you care so much? Why are you watching then? There you go. Point taken. Debate over. Also, the next thing I want to say before I start the video is that, I'm a honest person with what I want to say. I don't sugarcoat things. If I feel like your team shouldn't have won because they got lucky, I'm going to tell you they got lucky. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many games that I have watched over the years, and I've been watching since 2014, so I've seen a lot of games, a lot of metas, a lot of patches. So I've been watching a lot longer than most of you have been watching. Just saying. But, some teams get lucky. They do. And if you don't think luck exists in this game, you're absolutely crazy, because there is luck. You just don't see it because you're not really paying attention. And I can easily just dispel this argument of there being no luck in League right in front of you. A person next to you is thinking about making a decision. That is completely out of your control. If you have a Jarvan, just like Wiggly did that one game, or actually he did it yesterday too, so let's not be crazy here. So if I have a jungler that goes inside the Baron pit 20 minutes in, I'm not saying he did this, he did another incident, but I'll go back to Wiggly when I talk about CLG. Is that, let's say I have a jungler, and then we're about to get Baron, and then he goes to the Elder Dragon pit, and then he dies, knowing we could take Baron if there's 3 of them down. That's luck for the other team, because you can't count on that happening, but it happened, so it's like, and we should have won if we got Baron too. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, is that there is luck in this game. You cannot factor in somebody else thinking, them making a decision off their own merits is why that's considered luck. So that's why I wanted to just say that right now, because people are going to be like, well, Nightwing's kind of mean. He just is kind of a little disrespectful. No, I'm not disrespectful, nor am I mean. I am honest with my opinion. If you do not like it, then you can leave. That's just how it was. I think I lost like 10 subscribers when I first started getting that big boom that I did for the channel. They were like, oh my god, this guy's mean. I'm not mean. I'm just honest. And if you don't like it, oh well, I'm not going to sugarcoat my opinion. I'm not doing that. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here for that. If you want sugar-coated opinions, go to someone else, because you're not getting them from me. And if I think your team is not that good, I'm gonna say they're not that good. Like last year, when people said and told me straight to my face that SKT was amazing like they were back in the day. No, they weren't, because you didn't watch the LCK. You know why? No, they weren't, because I watched the LCK. Let's just take things for what they are and actually watch the games rather than making up narratives that don't exist. Alright, so let's talk about the LCS. So, first game of the week on Saturday started off with CLG versus Evil Geniuses. CLG got their first win. Actually, Evil Geniuses played a back-and-forth game against CLG. You could kind of see where CLG is making their improvements at a certain point. And if you really see how this game is played out, Stixxay played one of his best games he's actually played in a very long time. Stixxay was on the Aphelios. I thought he looked pretty good. And, you had Evil Geniuses making a lot of rather not really it's not really misplaced per se. They just made a lot of mistakes when it comes to their composition, because people who choose Elise have to realize at a certain point, Elise can't really do much. Like, Elise is not a 40-minute game champion. You know, Elise is the champion you smash the early game with, get picks, and you build stuff around her also so she can make these picks, and then you're able to win the game. Elise is not a champion you try to get to like 40 minutes with. She's just not really going to be useful. But you saw a lot of good things out of the Evil Genius roster, but you know, from this day especially, and I think that they did pretty well, but it wasn't enough. CLG with their superior team fighting come out with the win. Then you had 100 Thieves versus TL. I have not seen Someday play this well for a fair bit of time though, because last year you didn't really see these levels of performances. I think Meteos and Someday really did play well. I mean, Ryuma, Stunt, and Cody-sun have been the weak point for 100 Thieves. I think I'm fair to say that. Someday completely ran away with the game on the Aatrox pick, and I think that TL's composition really couldn't deal with it, especially, but Impact, you know, losing on the GP, it's not technically a big fault of his, given the fact that, you know, Aatrox does smash people like GP, you know, very early on, and by the time he was winning, Someday came online. So, and you also have to factor in, you know, 100 Thieves just were the better team throughout the game. TSM versus Dig, a rather close game actually, but you know, TSM have been ramping up over these past couple of weeks. You know, they're on a 4-game winning streak. They are doing really well. They started off like crap. I was fair in my assessment to say that. They've been looking a lot better. I think by consensus, I would call them the second best team in the league after Cloud9, because obviously Cloud9 just looked even better against FlyQuest. I mean, it wasn't even fair about what even happened with FlyQuest. Like, Cloud9 just destroy FlyQuest so hard. Oh my god. But TSM just have a really interesting game against Dignitas, but the fact of the matter of this game really got determined by Bjergsen just being that much better than Froggen in terms of being, you know, Syndra versus Vel'Koz, and then the rest of the map just kind of flowed around them. And I think that TSM has the best laning in the league. I think that's shown in stats, and I think that's shown in their gameplay. They have great laning, and, you know, they've been playing pretty well. Alright, Cloud9 versus FlyQuest. I kind of already did touch on this. They destroyed them. Like, it really wasn't fair. It was like, Cloud9 is literally in a league of their own. That's literally what it is. And, you know, they get the win. Alright, so, day 2, you had Immortals against 100 Thieves. And this is where I'm starting to think, you know, Immortals are actually looking pretty good. They get, you know, their perfect players on their, perfect champions that you think you know them for. You know, actually, I like the bot lane in Immortals. I think they have been actually playing pretty well, and they were a really, really good strong point for this game, and that's why they took it over 100 Thieves. You have Golden Guardians versus TSM. I mean, there were some good things about this game, but just more or less showing why TSM, in my opinion, is now the second best team in the league, and I think that, you know, they're starting to really show it. Broken Blade is one of the more better top laners now, alongside Licorice. So I think it's pretty much, you know, Someday, Licorice, and Broken Blade as the best top laners. Actually, you can just kind of just toss it up there. And then you're seeing other parts of the roster really come together as well. Then you have Cloud9 versus Dignitas. I mean, Sven died for the first time. So, I mean, Froggen did that, and people were like, oh my god, Sven died. I mean, you know, it was bound to happen anyway. It's not really that big a deal personally. But, you know, Cloud9 just dismantled Dignitas. I think they got super tilted by losing to TSM. They had a lot of hype going into the first week, and now they've lost, like, what, 3 straight in a row? And I think that people, you know, rationally overhyped this team. Remember, you guys, it's the same team with Froggen, Huni, and Afromo. Now, please remember that. And this is why I wasn't overrating them like a lot of other people were. Because I don't overrate people because of performances that I see for 1 week when I know they're not going to do well in the up-and-coming weeks. Though that at the end of the day is just a prediction. Alright, FlyQuest versus Evil Geniuses. Not really much in this game personally, though I did like this game, and it did show why Evil Geniuses do have something there. I mean, it's not that FlyQuest played really bad this week. They had a decently hard schedule, being Cloud9 in there, but Evil Geniuses showed why they still should not be slept on, and or why they, really should not be a team with, to be taken lightly. And after that, I'm thinking to myself, they all played pretty individually fine this game. I think that Bang and what's his name? Nope, just Bang has been playing pretty well. So yeah, Evil Genius take the win. I don't remember exactly too much from this game, but I do remember Bang and Jizuke playing pretty well. All right, and now we get to Monday Night League, is what a lot of people have had a lot to say about. And let's start with TL versus Golden Guardians. So there's a lot to actually discuss with this game, and I'll just kind of keep it short and sweet, which I won't, because I don't do that. Technically, some days. Alright, so you have Golden Guardians versus Team Liquid. So you're thinking to yourself, Golden Guardians looks like pretty much like the 7th or 8th place team in the league, right? And you're thinking like, okay, TL should be massively favored. They're gonna get Broxa decently soon, right? Maybe next week is what Steve said on Hotline League. And I think that when you look at how Team Liquid has been performing with, Surnfire, you can take it from two different angles. You can take it from, hey, they're going to play better with Broxa because that's their actual starting jungler. Even though people think Broxa's not that good, I think you're just fucking stupid if you believe that. Now, you can take it from the Surnfire aspect, and you can say like, well, they're not going to play that well with Surnfire because they're probably thinking to themselves, it doesn't matter anyway, so that's also a thing. And then you're looking at draft. Now, I know people are going to probably criticize their draft. I don't really like to criticize draft unless it's some atrocious drafting like Immortals did in like week 1 or 2. That was that's just unacceptable. You know what I mean? But certain drafts are not that bad. I think people overreact to drafts so much, and they need to stop nitpicking drafts. Like, I've seen people nitpick drafts to the extreme, and the drafts aren't even that bad. Like, they're not even that bad. Like, can we please stop over nitpicking drafts? Like, it's super annoying, honestly. Now, the Cena thing. I don't really personally care about the Senna thing. I call her Cena for some reason. Sorry. Senna. Because it's just how I see that name, because how I've seen that name when I was a kid, I saw it as Cena. So when I see a Cena in like anywhere, I call it Cena when it's pronounced Senna. I know, I'm sorry. So the double lift thing, I mean, it really doesn't matter. That wasn't even the issue with the game technically, because he hasn't played that well with Senna, right? In general, their whole draft was bad. Galio support, that's kind of right. Kane, wink. XD lol cat W. Come on here. The whole draft was like, just disrespectful. Come on, like, let's be honest here. It wasn't just a Senna pick. Like, that's how I can show you why there are people are nitpicking, and it's so stupid. Like, I hate people who nitpick. It's so dumb. I want to punch those people in the face. The whole draft was bad. The entire draft was bad. I'd say the Kennen pick is fine. The Jarvan pick was fine. Rumble with Jensen. I like that they're trying different stuff. They need to not stop playing through double lift. I like they're getting destroyed because it shows them how to play different things. If they are having if they are gonna improve by playing different stuff, that's better for them in the long term. So if they revert back to just playing around double lift, they're gonna get exposed. They're gonna get exposed even worse this year than last year because there's better teams in the league. They've already shown and proven that they can expose them. So they should stray away from playing around double lift, which is, I mean, they know they can do that, so they should use that as a backup. And I would say personally that's a very good thing. You could still play around double if the composition enables it, but I think that in terms of where they want to be versus how I expect them to be, I want them to learn new things. Being flexible is how you're going to beat teams like G2, G2 is better than most of the teams in the league. Let's be honest here, and don't try and kid yourself thinking otherwise. Golden Guardians, I think, played great. At a certain point, they're playing pretty badly if FBI and Keith are 2v2ing Core JJ and Double Lift. Now, no disrespect to them, they did win fair and square, but if you're losing to FBI and Keith, who were by consensus the worst bot lane in the league, I think they can do a lot better than that, if you're asking me. I think they are better than that, and I think that one lucky game and one lucky bot lane matchup doesn't make them better, but, they did win fair and square, and I'll give them credit for that. Closer. has been playing great. MVP of the week, if I had to choose one, is Closer. He's looked pretty well, and I think he just deserves a lot of credit. Closer has looked absolutely amazing. And yeah, everyone played good on Golden Guardians. It was just that, you know, Jensen looked uncomfortable on Rumble, and, you know, I'm actually really interested to see what TL looks like after Surenfire, because I'm so sick and tired of hearing people bitch and moan about fucking Surenfire. Like, he's not their biggest issue. Yes, he hasn't been playing, you know, frickin' self-made Yankos level, but he's not been their issue as much as people want to make it out to be. Because ever since that Cloud9 game versus Team Liquid, people are like, oh, I mean, well, they don't have Broxa, so it doesn't really matter, right? No, you stupid fuck, they still lost because they're all look outside of Surenfire, you morons. People who are out there who think like that they know everything about League when it's shown they do not. You know, they outside of Surenfire are playing badly. Bot lane and top lane. Jensen, I think, has been playing just fine. I think he looks pretty okay. Actually, pretty good. But outside of that, Impact, Core, JJ, Doublelift, all playing badly. So it's not just Surenfire. I hate hearing that. Stop blaming him. It wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? Like, I like how people want to place blame on a player. It's not even his fault. Like, well, like, what's wrong with you people sometimes? Come on, like, that's just so. Ugh, it's so irritating, man. Like, he's not even like their biggest issue. So let's say if Broxa comes in next week, Broxa just starts throwing games. What's the excuse now? Their brains fried? Kane threw keyboards at them? What's the excuse this time? Because I would love to hear the excuse this time, because after Cloud9 dismantled them in their first game, oh, Surenfire, they don't have their real roster, and people were like, well, you know, let's beat TL when they have Broxa. I mean, if they beat TL when they have Broxa, what was the excuse before? Does that validate the excuse before that they had Surenfire? No, they still lost. You still lost at the end of the day. Whether you think this was here or that was there or that was there, this was here, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You lost. Get over it. Like, you just lost. All right, last game of the day was Immortals versus CLG. Now, this is where I get into this, like, luck factor, because CLG was in prime position to win the game. Altec ends up with I think it's Smithy backdooring. I forgot the other person he was with, or I think it was just him. They end up backdooring. They had a pretty close game overall. You actually think that CLG can win because it was Smoothie's birthday. You really want, you know, our former C9 support to win. I love my boy Smoothie. Not been playing too well, but I want my former boy to win. And he really was in a prime position to win. And he simply just started getting caught out. Immortal started finding great positions to be in, and they just run it down. NA RAM at its finest. But I don't think Immortals 4-2 record really shows how strong they are personally. I think that record is kind of a lie, but they did win at the end of the day, so I mean, it is what it is. So that's pretty much it. I'm ready for the LCS Week 4. You got the marquee matchups of, you know, Cloud9 versus TSM. You got Cloud9 versus TSM, you know what I mean? So you have El Clasico, and I like that. You know, I want to have a smack around TSM for a little bit there, show them who's the real big boss around here. But yeah, that's it, guys. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, also if you all enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports, signing out.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.